Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, along with Carl Zuby. As we're ready, we're up and we're running, and we've got some wrestlers on the mats here in this Black River Falls Wrestling Invitational. Carl, you take a look here, and I know, let me just real quick before we go through who's out here. On your screen, on the quad, this time we're going backwards from what I'm used to, so bear with me, but lower right is going to be number 1, lower left number 2, upper right is 3, and then 4 is upper left. So start in the lower right, and it's 1, 2, go to the top, right side is 3, left side is 4. That's going to be our screen today. And
all right. Well, I can tell you who's up where.
That'd be perfect.
So mat number 1, we've got Cutler Roscoe from Ladysmith and Fletcher Post from Columbus Spencer.
And we have a pinning combination going on.
Well, mat 3 just finished up. And that is Jake Urish from Whitehall. And he just had a fall in 44 seconds over Amaya Leverance from Nakusa Assumption.
And we just had a pin on mat number 2 as well.
That was Landon Connolly from Sparta facing off against Mason Hagan of Onalaska.
Okay.
Landon Connolly with the pin.
Well, pretty neat with that. I'm glad you have that track wrestling. I'm trying to get it on my phone. But
well, we're going to start over with well, no, mat 1 is still going. Mat 1 Fletcher Post of Spencer Columbus is up 2-0 over Cutler of Ladysmith.
That's the lower right. And we don't have anybody on mat 4 as of yet. So that should be coming along here soon.
Well, and that's going to be Cole Beckett of Portage and Shelby Garcia of Bruce. Well, they're down a little way. They're from way up north, isn't Bruce?
Yeah, that's up by not that far from Ladysmith, actually, I don't think. Trying to remember up there. We had a long time ago, it's been a number of years now, but that was a site of a Legion State baseball tournament.
They look to be having some problems with track wrestling down on mat 4.
Oh, okay.
We are going to have a Viroqua wrestler on mat 2. I don't know. Well, mat 2 or 3. Looks like mat 3. That's going to be Alex Klum.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be in the upper right. We'll keep track of that one there. In fact, you want to
Sure, I can
follow
do that.
Go ahead and do that one right now. That'd be great.
He's going to face off against another freshman, Brandon Walters of Sparta. Alex with a nice high crotch. And turn it into more of a knee pull. Going to take control with a 2-0 lead over Walters as they work the edge of the mat. You know, we've had a couple of meetings early on in the season with some of the local officials going over some rule changes and some tweaks, and they did change some of the out-of-bounds criteria, but
yeah,
they basically said, we don't want to explain it to you because it'll just confuse you. I said, wow, well, that helps a lot.
There you go.
I think they're trying to mimic it more like college.
Sure.
Mat 2, seeing some action. That is Autumn McDaniel of Pittsville and Dash Ludwig of Portage. That's the orange mat.
Okay.
That's the easy one to
there you
call
go.
out.
Right. So Pittsville Well, we're going to get a pin over there on mat number 1. That was Lady Smith.
Lady Smith, the Cutler Roscoe over Fletcher Post of Spencer Columbus.
Okay.
Now Walters.
Well, actually, Spencer Columbus actually picked up the pin.
Oh.
He's going over the table now.
He was ahead 6-4 during that match.
Yeah.
Walters with the reversal to tie things up against Klum, and now Klum out the front door. He'll lead the match 3-2. One thing about technology, it's a little slow catching up. Both wrestlers on their feet. Walters in on a single, but lost some real estate on the edge of the mat, and they're going to reset. No, I take that back. That was end of period number 1. Walters will defer his decision to the 3rd period, and Alex Klum will choose neutral. I was looking forward to see Alex back out on the mat. They had a real tough middle school season. I kind of threw him a little bit to the wolves. He wrestled up a lot in the ability category, just to kind of toughen him up, get him ready. We were kind of hoping that he would be one of those guys in our lower weights, and he did. He was able to make 13. Mat number 4's coming some action. That is your upper left-hand corner. Mat 4 is going to be Jackson Preston of Partyville and Stephen Williams of Thorpe.
Yeah, I am just not having any luck trying to find the tournament here on my phone.
Search in the event. It's called the BRF Invite 2022.
Ooh, there you go. Search and BRF.
BRF Invite.
Invite, okay.
Alex Klum will get a takedown midway through the 2nd period as he works an armbar. He leads this match by a score of 5-2.
Well, that was the magic one right there.
And we just saw at 132 pounds on mat 4, Jackson Preston of Partyville with the pin, 52-second fall over Stephen Williams of Thorpe. Now on mat 4, wish they would go to the current match. That is Colton Weiler of Auburndale and Adriana Freer of Nakusa Assumption on mat 4. That is the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Alex Klum got working a leg ride and a little tilt. He was able to pick up, well, it was blood time. Stop the match for some cleanup. Score still 5-2 Klum of Viroqua.
Now I should be able to go to the dashboard here, right?
Yes. So if you go to the hub, I think that's what it's.
Oh, there we are.
Dashboard. Mat number 4, Colton Weiler of Auburndale picks up the fall over Adriana Freer of Nakusa Assumption. Looks like a minute 11 pin time. We're still cleaning up bodily fluids on mat 3. Mat 2, the orange mat, is Kylan Dandridge of Portage and Lucas Forrest of Stratford. Stratford leading that match by a score of 2-1. And on mat number 1, Sawyer Cole of Portage and Owen Burmeister of Ladysmith. Cole of Portage leads that match by a score of 6-3.
Both of those wrestlers are freshmen. Trying to take a look here on this. I wish I could get the panel so I didn't have all this stuff up above it.
You might try turning your phone the other way. It might give you a little, see it a little better, but you got to scroll.
Still scroll a little bit. Gonna get me one of those small computers like you got. Actually, I have a computer coming that I'll be able to do things like that, so that'll be nice to have with different tournaments coming up and stuff.
Well, we are into period number 3 with Alex Klum and Brandon Walters of Sparta. Walters with the takedown. He's going to come up, tie the match, 4-2, I'm sorry, let me start over. Walters with the takedown to bring the score up 5-4. Klum still leading that match as Klum fights off the half Nelson. Mat number 4, your upper left-hand corner of the screen is Joey Baker of Durand and Mikey Weiler of Spencer Columbus. That match just getting underway in the 132-pound weight class.
Between, again, Portage Dandridge and Lucas Forrest, freshman from Stratford. That is Stratford with a 6-1 lead. That's over on mat 1. And now we have a pinning combination here with, or check that. That was mat, is that mat 2 right here, the orange mat. That was mat 2. Mat 1, we looked like you were going to get a pinning combination, but I don't see that happening now. Up on their feet, Ladysmith and Pittsville.
Well, Alex Klum falls to Brandon Walters of Sparta in the third period by fall. Klum was ahead 6-4, but was unable to get out of the pinning combination that Walters had put on.
Well, he'll be all right. That's just something you're going to learn, and you know where and how to defend. A lot of importance there with hand control again, but
yes.
You know, it's all a matter of time. It's mat time.
All these wrestlers are knocking cobwebs off that
Yeah, right.
have been on for, like you say, 8 to 9 months. Mat number 4, Joey Baker of Durand leads that match by a score of 2-0.
I missed who won down there on mat 1, but coming up on mat 1 is going to be Gavin Garcia. That's the lower right, a freshman from Black River Falls. Looks like he's going to be taking on, I think they say Rayson Schooley, a sophomore from Pittsville. Last year record of 24-7, so he's a good one.
Gabe Gerber had a 118 fall over Ezra Fila of Pittsville on mat 1.
Okay. On mat 2, 10-2 scorer right now with Forrest of Stratford out in front over Dandridge of Portage.
Mat number 3, your upper right-hand corner has Max Conley of Stanley Boyd and Kuno Hansen of Black River Falls. Conley leads that match by a score of 3-2. And on mat 4, your upper left-hand corner, Joey Baker is taking a 9-0 lead. Just 11 seconds left in period number 1. Looks like they've stopped that match for blood time.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. If I take mats 1 and 2 and we're back and forth 3 and 4, we'll be okay.
We'll make something work.
Something happened here anyways. That's like, man, I must be getting old. It took me a little while to kind of see where the mat number was and everything here, but
well, we got cobwebs too. We got to dust off.
I hear you, man. I'm kind of shaking it loose here. Hopefully, but I tell you what, it was a lot of fun doing I had triangular at Cashton. Actually, a quadrangular at Cashton on Tuesday, then a triangular at Westby on Thursday night. And that was a lot of fun, and I thought, you know what, this is great. It kind of helps prep me for today, but I don't know if it did or not. This is this gets us ready for the bi-state and things of that nature, which we're planning on doing that once again. It probably, most likely, is going to be on a tape-delayed basis, but we are working on it. Well, mat number 2, we are going to have Gavin McDowell, one of our local wrestlers, coming up. That's going to be in the lower left, and his opponent is Jaden Condor from Sparta. So actually a couple of local wrestlers and 2 of our clubs that are helping support today's broadcast. My sincere thanks going out to those 2 clubs, the Sparta Wrestling Club, Buck Engel, head coach, and Chad Johnson for DeSoto, and the Pirate Wrestling Club helping us out once again. They have no score. Ethan Dobbs actually coming up here now. He is going to be wrestling Brady Mansmith, a freshman from Durand, over on mat 1. So we'll keep track of both of those.
We've got Ethan Solberg Evan Solberg is on deck, mat 3. Max Conley leads over Kuno Hansen of Black River Falls by a score of 9-4. Joey Baker is of Durand is leading Mikey Weiler 14-0, and that's in the second period. And now in near fall criteria and the pin, that'll be the winner on mat 4, your upper left-hand corner, Joey Baker of Durand at 132.
4-0 the score here with Condor of Portage out in front over Gavin McDowell. Gavin came in from last year's record, 18-20. That's quite a few matches, 38 matches for the young man. He's only a junior. Right now trailing 4-0. Dobbs now on mat number 1. That is the lower right side. Oh, he had a little ankle pick there, but just couldn't quite pull that one in. And now a nice blast double here, picking up the takedown and a 2-0 lead over Brady Mansmith, a freshman from Durand.
Jaden Condor with the fall over Gavin McDowell of DeSoto. Looks like about a minute 25.
Okay.
On mat 2.
And I'm looking to see, I don't see the time. Oh, yeah, you're right, minute 25. And now a pin here off from a tilt by Ethan Dobbs. He comes up with that pin. And we're checking the time factor there. It's going to be a 1:09 pin time for Ethan Dobbs. Thanks to the Auburndale Eagles as well helping us out with today's broadcast. They have such an excellent tradition of wrestling. They've always been, they just seem like they've always been tough.
And there's some Viroqua roots there with Jason Welch, one of the coaches.
I was wondering about that. That was kind of ringing a bell, but I'm glad you told us.
Over in the weigh-ins this morning, he lifted up his Auburndale shirt. He had a Viroqua wrestling shirt on. So that a boy.
That's pretty good.
With all the competition and the rivalry, still everybody is there's such a brotherhood.
Yep.
Amongst everybody.
That's pretty good. So on mat number 2 here on the orange mat, we have Tyden Mickelson from GET Melmin. He has just picked up a takedown. The junior leads 2-0 over his opponent from Bruce, Kyle Whitcomb, a sophomore. He had a record last year of 13-27, so he had 40 matches in last year. And right now, Mickelson has a cradle locked in. He's got the back points going here, trying to cinch that up and see if he can't secure the pin.
Well, Jeffrey Jones of Portage on mat 4 with the early takedown, but Mason Wolf of Spencer Columbus had a reversal right into near fall criteria and gets the 1:59 pin time. Pull away the victor.
Wow.
It was right at the end.
That's the one where the official has to look over and go, was it prior to the buzzer? Right now we've got a pinning combination, trying to come up with a pinning combination. Instead, Mickelson is going to have to give up a point here for locked hands. So Whitcomb will now trail 5-1. They had gone out of bounds with 17 seconds to go, and it was a 5-0 lead. Now the fresh restart once again. Whitcomb stands up, trying to get away here. Nice job by Mickelson dropping down on the ankles. Now he's got to work up, and he doesn't do it quite in time. And he's going to be warned for stalling. Meanwhile, over on mat number 1, we have Tanner Rogowski, a sophomore from Auburndale. He leads 2-0 over Austin Lund from Black River Falls. And the folks from Auburndale, I hope I didn't butcher Tanner's name too bad. Maybe I should just say Tanner, just to be safe, right?
Works for me. Max Conley of Stanley Boyd on mat 3, your upper right-hand mat, was the winner over Kuno Hansen of Black River Falls by a score of 17-4.
Oh, we got another Blackhawk out on mat 3 there, Carl.
Yep, and that is going to be Evan Solberg. He's going to be wrestling 45 today before he makes his way down to, not 45, he's 32. On his way down to 26, he hopes. We'll see if that works.
Uh-huh.
He is wrestling Jacob Bertling from Nakusa Assumption. He is a freshman. Tough wrestler. He's he had a front headlock. Now both wrestlers back up to their feet. Mat number 4 is Stefan Lund of Black River Falls and Brecken Brzezinski of Stanley Boyd. Brzezinski with the early takedown. He's leading that match by a score of 2-0.
Well, a little change of position here on mat number 2, folks. Lower left corner of the screen here as Whitcomb has battled back, and he's now got the match tied at 5 apiece. He had a pinning combination on Mickelson, and he was, took some pretty good effort for Mickelson to get off his back. And we got a pinning combination over on mat number 1. That is Auburndale and Rogowski had the pinning combination in, and the time ran out. But he leads 10-1 over Austin Lund from Black River Falls. Lund, a freshman.
Solberg of Viroqua able to capitalize on the snap down with a front headlock that he got out of and was able to turn the corner, get his takedown. He leads as time expired. Well, we got about 20 seconds left in period number 1. He's leading that score over Jacob Bertling of Nakusa Assumption by a score of 2-0. That is the upper right-hand screen.
(6-5) score now. Boy, things are getting tight. But Whitcomb of Bruce has snuck out in front, that 1-point advantage.
Mason Wolf on mat 4 was your winner by a fall of 159 over Jeffrey Jones of Portage. What was SC? That's Stanley.
Spencer Columbus.
Spencer Columbus.
Yep. You got the red singlet on?
Yep.
Yep.
And now Portage's Alex Channing is wrestling Connor Odell of Melman GET.
What mat is that?
That is mat 4. GET Melman has brought their varsity reserves here today. Forget where they sent their varsity.
You know, there's a couple of tournaments out there. I know Reedsburg is having their team tournament once again. There's a fall now on mat number 2 coming up with the pin and come from behind. In one sense, that was Whitcomb of Bruce. He trailed 5-0 and battled back, had an 8-5 lead before picking up the pin here in the third period. It's going to be about a 4:51 pin time for Whitcomb of Bruce. Meanwhile, I think we have Dworgowski they're still wrestling. He's got a 10-1 lead yet, and they're in period number 2. We had some time out here. Might have been a bloody nose or something, but they're getting the mat cleaned up. Let's take a look here on mat number 2. We got a freshman from Nakusa Assumption and Fletcher Brock. He is taking on Nathan Esser from Pittsville. Esser, a junior, boy, he had a nice record last year, Carl, of 23-9. He's got to be right up there in the seed.
Yeah.
We don't have that part up here. We'll get those. We'll get that bracket sheet before too long, hopefully.
Solberg's match now just ending the second period. Bertling of Nakusa Assumption had his choice. He chose down, was able to escape and get a takedown to take the lead from Solberg 3-2 as they start the third period on their feet.
One of the things that I notice, you pick up different trends and things from the teams, what they like to do, that kind of stuff. But one of the things I feel like I've noticed with Nakusa, and they do a great job, and they just seem very physical. You can see they've been in the weight room, and you better have that headgear strapped on pretty tight when you're wrestling them. That's they're coming all the time.
Oh, Solberg with a failed lat drop. Right to his back. He's going to give up the takedown and the pin. So with a, 5:30 pin time, or 5:40 pin time, is Jacob Bertling of Nakusa Assumption over Evan Solberg of Viroqua.
Evan giving a good shot there. Just, again, a counter that was able to work. He'll set that up even better next time around, though. I like Evan. I think he's going to be okay.
And it was a little too quick for desperation mode.
Right. Taking a look here on mat 2. Again, we have Brock from Nakusa Assumption and Esser of Pittsville. No score as they get back under wraps here. And we're going to get a takedown now by Pittsville. 11-1 your score on mat 1, lower right corner of your screen. Got a timeout on the orange mat again here. A bloody nose coming up. That's going to be an epidemic, I think, today.
Yeah. Well, some new wrestlers on mat 4. Matthew Poulos of Whitehall and Joseph Mitchell of Nakusa Assumption. Poulos with the takedown, working control on the edge of the mat. DeSoto's Zach Yakton,
yep.
And Levi Nichols of Sparta. Nichols with the 37-second pin time over Yakton of DeSoto.
Well, we hope you're going to enjoy today's broadcast of high school wrestling here from Black River Falls. We follow all of our 16, 18 teams, whatever it is here. We'll get that to you in a little bit, of course, with this quad picture. And then we do a lot of our, hooting and hollering for, whatever you might want to say, with, of course, the Blackhawks of Viroqua. The Pirates of DeSoto helping out here. We're following Auburndale as their club, helping to support today's broadcast. Again, thanks to Coach John Carl and the crew over there, and Coach Welch. Speaking of Auburndale, Rogowski from Auburndale out in front, 11-2 now. His record last year, 14-21 as a freshman. So a ton of matches for the young man. He's only a sophomore, And he's sitting out in front here. Pretty good spot at 11-2, your score. Over Lund from Black River Falls.
What is the match? Can you have, is it 50 matches?
50 matches this year. You're right, Carl. They changed that, didn't they? So going into the regional, you can't have more than 50. So, yeah, you gotta be a little wise on that anymore, man.
Yeah. I don't know, what would would they just not let you wrestle?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be eligible to wrestle in that.
Wow.
That happened a few years ago, back when I was coaching, and we had our the MVC Cooley tournament, and my son Paul was this was his junior year, if I remember right, wrestling. He had to wrestle for third place, La Crescent. They had to forfeit to us, so Paul wound up third, because if the boy would have wrestled, it would have been match number 51. And they had that rule back in Minnesota, however many years ago now.
Wow.
So the coach was like, yeah, he says, we don't dare wrestle. I'm like, okay. It makes you wonder sometimes, but. Well, a timeout over on mat 1 and mat 2 right now, as both mats, they're doing the old cleanup thing.
We'll switch. We've got Vinny Klum on mat 4. He is wrestling somebody from Melman GET as soon as my computer catches up. That is Jaron Hansen of Melman GET, a freshman at 145 pounds, and Vinny Klum, a sophomore.
Yeah, we're rooting for Vinny. Well, he's just such a good worker. I love his energy. That motor never stops.
He's got his hands full with Jaron Hansen. Very physically. Kind of working Vinny over. Vinny's still not letting go of that half. He's looking to come out the corner and get the takedown. So he will pull ahead with that, with the escape from earlier. It is 3-1 the score, as now he goes to work on that left side.
Well, one of the things that we recall with Vinny and that I admire on his side is he is so solid. He's going to keep pretty good position for the most part, and it's not that it's the rah, quick getting after things. He's steady. That's my term for him. He's just not going to quit.
Well, and Vinny last year wrestled 120.
Yeah.
And now came in at 145.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't put any fat on.
That's a good thing, right? Back we go to mat number 1, and Auburndale out in front here by a score of 13-2. Wargowski doing a pretty good job there right now. And did we get a pin? Looks like we did. That's going to come in the third period. And I think they're going to say about a 5:10, let's see, about a 5:50 pin time is what they're going to go with, or close to that anyways. So Auburndale moving out on the championship side. Meanwhile, 4-0 score here on the lower left corner of our screen. That is Esser from Pittsville. He's out in front 4-0 over Fletcher Brock from Nakusa, who's a freshman.
Jaron Hansen is going to pick up the fall over Vinny Klum. Right, be about 1:59 pin time again.
Wow.
Vinny was working a 2-on-1 tilt, and Hansen was able to come up to his feet and somehow turned that right into near fall criteria. And as time was expiring, Lynn Eisenseed decided that those shoulder blades had been down long enough.
Was he trying to do like the hip tilt with the 2-on-1?
2-on-1, and then he kind of came to his feet and then went straight back over, kind of lost his balance.
All right. So he's going to have to. So he'll work on that. We're just going to have to load him up on the hips and make sure you rotate your hips up so you're on your side, not on your back. Yeah, it could almost be called like a defensive pin from the sounds of things.
The the takeaway there, the positive takeaway, worked a lot on finishing his shots. Coach Getter and Coach Rob really worked on finishing things, not getting stuck on the bottom. And he
Yep.
worked hard to come around and get that takedown, to be in the position. So,
Well, he's
little wins.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? When you got a young team, that's what you got to do. Take those and grow.
And we've got 19 kids and only 4 seniors.
Oh, wow. That's nice to know. Well, you got a pin down there on mat 3.
That's mat 3. That is Abram Sanchez of Sparta with the fall over Eob Smith of Partyville.
He was trailing by a couple of points and actually had tied it up and then got the pin. But, yeah, he had to come from behind. Let's take a look down on mat 1. We have a couple of new wrestlers out there. That is going to be Partyville. Logan Young, a sophomore, no record from last year, taking on Clayton Roscoe, a senior from Ladysmith, and he had a very nice record of 28-9 as he comes in, one of the top seeds in this weight class at 138 pounds, I should say. I think I failed to mention that before. Still getting those cobwebs out, apparently.
We've got action on mat 4. Parker Brooks from Onalaska, juniors, facing off against Easton Damon.
What?
Pittsville.
Pittsville.
There's a lot of double letters in there. 2 A's, 2 M's, 2 N's, and a D.
I would say
Not necessarily-
Damon. Yeah,
Not
Damon.
necessarily in that
Yep.
order.
Yep.
So that is it's like a takedown by Damon and let Parker Brooks go.
We had a pin on mat 2. Esser came up with that pin and to make it 320, a 320 pin time for Nathan Esser.
Mat 3, we have Ashton Volke of Black River Falls and Landon Hole of Stanley Boyd. We're going to have a big match for Viroqua on mat 4 coming up. It's going to be Preston Buroker and Gunnar Keenan, both of Viroqua, facing off at 152 pounds.
Preston wrestled varsity last year.
Yep, he was spent most of the year at 45.
I thought he had a pretty good year, didn't he?
Yeah, had a very good year.
That's what I thought. Let's take a look at mat 1. Logan Young and Clayton Roscoe, Partyville and Ladysmith, respectively. It's 2-2 for your score. They move into period number 2. And it looks like Ladysmith in Roscoe is going to go down. He's got the point here. Now it goes right back in on the attack here. Trying to pick up the takedown. They'll be on their feet, and out of bounds they go.
Mat 3, your upper right-hand corner. Landon Hole of Stanley Boyd with the first period pin, minute 15 over Ashton Volke of Black River Falls.
Well, we got a takedown, and actually the score is 4-2 and now 6-2. Must have been a penalty point in there that I didn't see ahead of time, but boy, that little hip toss right there, and Ladysmith and Roscoe is going to pick up the pin, and that is going to be a 2:20 pin time for Clayton Roscoe at 138 pounds. He'll move on in that championship bracket.
Mat 3, we have Trenton Baldwin of DeSoto. Sophomore, his record last year was 18-21, and he is wrestling Jackson Summerfield of Ladysmith, another sophomore with an 11-16 record. And of course, the Viroqua v. Viroqua match on mat 4, Preston Buroker and Gunnar Keenan.
Now, which Keenan is that?
That is Patrick's little brother.
Oh, it is Patrick's.
Josh and Sarah's.
Yeah, okay. Out on mat 2, well, this could be an interesting matchup. We've got Daniel Goldsmith a senior from Black River Falls. Tell you what, there's a young man that's got some length to him. Taking on Maximus Todd, a freshman from Onalaska. And it's a 4-0 lead right now for Goldsmith of Black River Falls. Goldsmith had a record of 10-16 last year. Now Todd, the freshman, is going to give up a penalty point on the warning for stalling, and on top of that, then Goldsmith gets away for the escape. Back up on their feet, 6-1 score. On mat 1, we have Stanley Boyd, Brody Westrom, a sophomore coming in, a record last year of 1-7, taking on Caitlin Nosbish, sophomore from Black River Falls. And a record of 5-15 for the sophomore.
Mat 3, as we start the second period, Trenton Baldwin of DeSoto leads by a score of 2-0 over Jackson Summerfield of Ladysmith. Period 1 coming to an end on mat 4 with the Baroque guys. Preston Baroque leads that match by a score of 4-1.
152 pounds on mat number 1, lower right-hand side. It's a 2-2 match between Westrom of Stanley Boyd and Ospish of Black River Falls. And we take a look on mat 2. It's now 6-4. Todd from Onalaska trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. The freshman tangling with the senior from BRF.
Mat number 3, Landon Hole. Well, that's Stanley Boyd. Trying to find, it was the DeSoto wrestler came away with the fall, but it's not telling me what the time was.
We're going to wind up with a pin over here on mat 1. It was 5-2. Westrom was in the lead, and I thought he was the one that headed to the table, which means the pin time would have been about 2:19. Picking up the win. Let's just double check that here real quick. And it is Westrom.
Preston Baroque leads by a score of 11-1 over Gunnar Keenan of Baroque, and the fall looks to be about a 3:25 pin time for Baroque, 145 or 152 pound bracket.
Over on mat 1, Landon Windsor from GT Melmin, a sophomore, had a record as a freshman at 9-8. Taking on Max Johnson from Portage. That's on mat 1, lower right. Lower left is Auburndale and Wyatt Melson, a freshman, taking on Harold Garcia, a senior from Bruce, who had a 20-20 record last year as a junior. Over on mat 1, Jason Windsor, who is a special needs director at Westby, known Jason for a long, long time. Way back, he used to coach, and he's got a couple of sons that are coming up through. Should be pretty interesting. Well, we can tell you, thanks to Andy Osegard, he brings us the bracket sheets so we can tell you the actual seeds for some of these guys as well. Well, Windsor is going to pick up the pin. He gets that pin in 1:21. And I'm thinking that he had to be up in there somewhere with the seed. Let's take a look here. That was at, oh wait, that was at 160.
In mat 3, we have Sander King of Black River Falls facing off against Connor Symington of Thorpe. Symington leading that match by a score of 2-0. Sorry, 4-2. There was a takedown, reversal, and then another reversal. And mat number 4 is Aaron Strum of Stanley Boyd. He leads that match by a score of 2-0 over Austin Schultz of Ladysmith.
Windsor, I take that back. He was at 152. I was thinking he was at 160. So that was my mistake. And let's take a look here. Windsor was the number 4 seeded wrestler, and of course, Preston, the number 1 seed for the Blackhawks. So they could meet in the semifinals a little bit later on here in the afternoon. Let's take a look at mat number 1 as they now are at 160 pounds. Number 1 seed in William Becker from Partyville. Get this, Carl. As a freshman, he had a record of 34-7.
Wow.
Isn't that something for a freshman? Wow. And he has taken on Trace Tomey, a sophomore from Bruce. And he had no record as a freshman. So we'll keep an eye on that one. On the orange mat, that's still going on at 145 pounds with Wyatt Milsna from Auburndale. He has got the lead, looking for a pinning combination here. He's got the leg trapped up, trying to go for that half Nelson. He's got some back points now over Harold Garcia from Bruce. That at 145 pounds. He's got that pinning combination locked in pretty good right now. Garcia was actually the number 4 seed, and he's now trailing 7-1.
The next match on mat 3 is Landon Parrott of Black River Falls and Hunter Leffler of Melman GET.
Mousin is actually like the number 13 seed, and he's got a 10-1 advantage now over the number 4 seed in Harold Garcia.
Well, that's it's hard to seed freshmen.
Yeah.
Without a high school record the year before.
No kidding.
They get a lot of sleepers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Becker of Partyville picks up the pin. That was, what was that, about a 41 second pin there for Becker. So he is going to move on. And Tomey, I hope I'm saying that right, will go the consolation side of things.
Leffler from Melman GET on mat 2 with the 39-second pin time over Parrott of Black River Falls. You'll have Blaine Permer coming up on mat 1 here soon, too.
Oh, okay.
He's on deck.
He's on deck on mine. All right. Well, take a look here at, let's see here. We've got right now Hunter McDaniel, a senior from Pittsville. He is just taking the lead at 2-0 over Otto Lepley from Sparta, sophomore. No record for last year for Lepley, but McDaniel was 15-15 last year. And let's take a look if we can find where he is at. He is McDaniel from Pittsville. He is the number 5 seed.
Seth Greeno is out on the mat in a pinning combination over Colin Dahlman of Thorpe. Greeno, a sophomore from DeSoto. Pretty dominating so far. We're only about 30 seconds into this first match. Thorpe, a junior, no record posted on track.
You know, he had a great record last year as a freshman. My goodness.
Greeno?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30-11.
He's been wrestling a long time. He's a very, very solid kid. I like watching him wrestle. What? Now that was it. Is he at 160?
That was 52.
Oh, 52. I was going to say, is he that big? Well, he moves on. He is the number 2 seed at 152.
And that's something as a sophomore.
Yeah. That upper weight class usually dominated by seniors, juniors and seniors. Well, it's 5-0 down on mat number 1 with Pittsville. That is McDaniel over Lepley.
Mat 4, we have Michael Kowalski of Portage and Brock Coburn of Whitehall. A freshman in Kowalski, sophomore in Colburn. That match just underway at 160 pounds on mat 4. Mat 3, your upper right-hand corner, Jackson Hughes of Onalaska and Alice Blackdeer of Black River Falls. Hughes going to be the winner in relatively short time, about 28-second pin time for Hughes on mat 3. Caden Sullivan from Viroqua will be up. He's on deck, mat 4 right now. Mat 2, your orange mat. We'll catch up with the match underway as soon as everything reloads on my computer. Mat 1, Hunter McDaniel of Pittsville leads Otto Lepley of Sparta by a score of 10-1. Mat 2 is Devin Walborg of Durand and Luke Paulson of Portage. Paulson leading that match by a score of 2-0 as he gets into near fall criteria and will record the pin. Paulson of Portage on mat 2, your winner with a 20-second pin time over Walborg of Durand.
Thanks for the tag team there.
Not a problem.
My worry is that I'm going to lose my. Oh, I'm still there with track wrestling. I hate leaving that.
Yep.
But one of the fans here was like, for some reason we're not on the website, so I had to show him the Twitch site and stuff.
Oh.
So he had just apparently typed it in wrong.
Blaine Permer's match just getting underway on mat 1. And then we'll have Caden Sullivan will be up on mat 4 shortly. Right now, Brock Colburn of Whitehall leading that match 2-0. But as I said that, Kowalski of Portage is going to get the reversal, but not after giving up 2 back points to Colburn. So that match should be 4-2. If I read the situation correctly.
Carl, would you like something to drink? I'm pretty good, but
I'm all right.
we're okay.
I got water.
Thank you. Yeah.
Although whiskey sounds good, but I don't know if the bar's open yet here.
Okay. You're killing me.
I still got to drive bus home, so
That's
none
true.
of that.
None of that. Well, now I see. Now you got me. I lost what was going on 2.
Well, I can tell by the computer that the score is 2-0. But that's
Okay. You always mess with me. You know that?
I haven't even said the brush hollow chicken
I
wing
know
yet.
you haven't even really started yet, so I'm just preparing myself. Meanwhile, let's take a look down on mat number 1. Primer is out in front, 2-0 over Chris Ruse of Stanley Boyd. Both these wrestlers are juniors.
Oh, and the pin.
Yeah, good job there for Blaine Primer. At 160 pounds, he will move on to face Brock Conley, number 2 seed from Sparta, in the next round. That'll be the quarterfinals. We're in the prelims right now.
We have a newcomer to wrestling, and Jack Kleiser on mat 2 now. This is his first year out as a senior.
Oh, wow. He's taking on Emmett Brock, a junior, who is actually 2-0. Well, I think that might be the record for this year, 2-0.
Yep, some of those, if they've had matches so far this year.
Yeah. Watch Sparta at Westby on Thursday night. They got a good bunch. They're a very aggressive team, just like you saw there on that double leg.
Mat 4, Kowalski of Portage has been able to surpass Colburn by a score of 8-5 as they start the third period. On deck on that match is another newcomer to wrestling in Viroqua, Caden Sullivan, the sophomore football prodigy, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Really excited to see him wrestle a match.
Yeah. That's great. Get him out there.
And Jack. So we've got a few new guys.
Yeah.
One of them's not with us today. He's under the weather.
That's too bad. Yeah. Take a look at mat number 1 here. This is Marcus Hansen from Ladysmith, coming in with a 22-17 record from last season. He's taking on Ashton Whitehorse from Partyville, a sophomore, no record last year. And again, this at 170 pounds. Let's take a look and see if Hansen is the number 1 seed. And we're going to get a pin here on mat number 2 as Emmett Brock of Sparta will pick up the pin over Jack Kleiser from Viroqua at 170. Let's see where did Emmett Brock winds up. He is the number 3 seed in today's tournament action at 170 pounds. And we'll take a look here. I know we got 2 new guys up here right away, and it's going to be Johnny Jacobs, sophomore from Bruce, taking on Kellen Getzinger, from a junior from Pittsville. Jacobs as a sophomore, had a record of 7-23 on the varsity, and Getzinger did not wrestle, or at least they did not have any varsity record for him from last year. Again, we're at 170 pounds on both mats 1 and 2.
In mat 3, we have Kelvin Davis from Melman GET, a sophomore, going up against Peyton Krager of DeSoto. Krager trails that match by a score of 2-1. We are in the second period, and he's going to come away with the fall. That's going to be about a 1:26 pin time for Krager. And that'll bring up Anthony DePietro of Viroqua on mat number 3. So we will have Viroqua coming up 1-2 right here on mats 3 and 4.
Wow.
So mat 4 just getting underway. That is the top left-hand corner of your screen. That is Caden Sullivan of Viroqua. And mat number 3 is Anthony DePietro. He is wrestling somebody from Stanley Boyd. As soon as my computer updates, I'll be able to tell you exactly who that is.
We have a 6-2 score with Kellen Getzinger from Pittsville out in front. That's on the lower left. And on the lower right, it is a 2-1 score, a dandy match going on here right now. Now it's 3-1. Might have been an escape there, I'm not sure. Kind of was looking away on that one.
Caden Sullivan worked right to the edge of the mat, almost had a takedown. He is wrestling Wyatt Moses of Black River Falls, a junior. Last year's record was 11-26, and this is Caden Sullivan's first match ever. So,
wow.
In on a single. The head on the wrong side, but he's going to whip down. Moses is going to fight that off with a whizzer and come down with the takedown himself, but Caden works back up to his feet. Anthony DePietro on mat 3, the upper right-hand corner of your screen, works along the right side of Dylan Seichter of Stanley Boyd. He leads that match by a score of 2-0.
Well, I see we have nearly 40 folks watching, 38 to be exact right now on our Twitch streaming. Hope you're enjoying today's broadcast.
Mat 3, Anthony DePietro worked a butcher, otherwise known as the butcher, the barbed wire, the corkscrew. I don't know what the Brush Hollow name for that would be.
There's got to be something.
But DePietro will pick up the fall in a minute 37 over Seichter of Stanley Boyd. Mat 4, Caden Sullivan getting his right arm looked at a little bit. He got a little twisted up.
Petro coming in, let's see now, there was going up against the that was the number 6 seed, if I'm looking at this correctly. Anthony would have been the number 11 seed. So nice job there picking up the win. He'll take on Emmett Brock from Sparta in the quarterfinals. Let's go back through here and take a look at where we're at with mat number 1. That one finished up, and you have a mat 1 who won that last match?
No, they've got Blaine Permarin as the last match.
Okay.
We have another Viroqua wrestler, Alder Moffett of Viroqua, wrestling Mason Dyringer of Spencer Columbus. And now action starting back over on mat 4 with Caden Sullivan and Wyatt Moses. Wyatt leading that after the near fall by a score of 5-0.
Well, it's going to be Getzinger coming away with the pin on mat 2. He gets that pin in 2:32, it looked like. 2:32 pin time for Getzinger. And let's see there. That would have been considered an upset.
Time winding down on mat 4. Sullivan's going to give up 3 more near fall. So if he can get out of this with, and he will, but he'll give up 3 near fall. That'll bring the score up to 8-0 as we start the second period. And Dyringer of Spencer Columbus is going to come ahead with the victory over Alder Moffett with a somewhere around a 1-minute pin time.
Who's that character over there in the corner helping coach?
That's the Silver Fox himself, Mr. Eric Anderson.
I figured he'd have to come up here.
Yeah. Definitely enjoying his time in retirement by spending it at wrestling things.
There you go.
But you can't have devoted that much of your life. Well, look at you. You're still here week in, week out, putting more time in than some head coaches.
Oh, well.
But it's always appreciated.
It's a lot of fun. You got to enjoy the kind of wrestling that we see here, and you got to enjoy wrestling, plain and simple. So I believe Heitmeyer from Portage, I believe, picked up the win on that previous match on mat 1. We'll have to double check that, though. On mat 2, it is Chris Schmidt from Spencer Columbus. He's out in front with a pinning combination as well over Kane Chappell from Portage. He's leading 2-0. He's got at least another 3 coming as he's looking to try and turn with that half Nelson. His time is running short. And that will be the end of the period. He'll pick up the 3 near fall, and he's out in front 5-0.
Caden Sullivan down on mat 4 is trailing 16-4, but you know, to have somebody so new to the sport wrestle as tough as he's wrestling, you know, he's gotten a takedown and a reversal and has showed no signs of backing down. That is for sure.
Yep.
We're going to see time expire on period number 2. 18-4, so a major decision right now. As we go into the 3rd period, Wyatt Moses is going to have his choice. He'll go down to start the 3rd period. Caden will ride along that left side. We have Sloan, is that Sloan Welch? Mat 3, no. Yeah, sure, no. That's Nakusa. Kind of looked a little bit like
like
Auburndale's singlet a little.
Yeah.
Caden fighting off a headlock. Moses will record a 3rd period pin. Looks to be about 4:21 pin time for Wyatt Moses of Black River Falls. Hard-fought match by Caden Sullivan. Mat number 2, that was at 170. Mat 2 is up to 220 with Andrew Wenzel of Nakusa Assumption and Caden Lane of Thorpe.
This is on 2. I'm way behind then. Mine must not have updated or something.
Yeah. So they're going to roll right into the next.
Going right into the quarters?
Well, I thought he said hold up, but because right now we've got 170, 182, and 220 out wrestling currently.
Over on mat 1, let's take a look and see. I've got that at 170 yet. In Howard Boyle, a freshman, taking on Landon Heitmeyer, a sophomore from Portage. And Heitmeyer had a record last year of 19-15 as a freshman at 170 pounds. Now let's go back here, and he is the number 2 seed right now, and he's clinging to a 4-0 lead, as I mentioned.
Wenzel of Nakusa Assumption leading on mat number 3. What have we got? We got potentially dangerous, 1 red. We'll let this catch up because the score doesn't make sense from what I'm seeing.
And what I've got on mat 2, I've got Chris Schmidt from Spencer Columbus.
Yep, and then
Okay.
Kane Chappell.
Yep, okay. Now this says 182, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And
They look like a small 182 though.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get a pin down there on the mat number 1, and that is going to be Portage in Heitmeyer picking up the win. He is the number 2 seed, and he'll move on.
Caden Lane of Thorpe. They had the colors mixed up. He is your winner, but they have him in red, but he's green on the computer. But that's Thorpe. So Caden Lane's going to win that match, and that's why they talk right now. They're over at the head table making sure that they get that figured out. Mat 4 was 170. That was Sam Helgestead and who was that? Brady Kuhn of Onalaska, Helgestead from Spencer Columbus. Kuhn, the winner in that match. That'll bring up Keanu Mathis of Black River Falls and Spencer King of DeSoto at 195. King, a freshman. And it's tough for those young guys in the upper weights.
Yeah.
And Viroqua wrestler Trayton Schmidt is taking on Javon Jones Jones of DeSoto, 220. Jones, a senior. Schmidt, a sophomore. Jones with the takedown right into near fall criteria. Mat 4, Mathis of Black River Falls over Spencer King of DeSoto with a first period fall. Looks to be about a 22 second pin time.
Chris Schmidt of Spencer Columbus with that pin over Chapel. Yeah, I don't have the time on that one. That was at 182 pounds. And let's take a look here. Schmidt is now going to wind up wrestling the top seed in Matthew Roach. That'll be coming up a little bit later on.
Javon Jones of DeSoto with the 56 second pin time over Trayton Schmidt of Viroqua.
And what weight was that again?
That was 220.
Oh, wow, you're really jumping up.
So you've got Mat 1 and 2 is both 195. Mat 3 are both 220. In fact, we may see, no, this should be 220 again on Mat 3. Be Graham and Frankenhauser, or Fankhauser. I have never seen that name before in my life. It's a fun name to say, though. Mat 4 is going to be Kaysen Kraus of Sparta and Cole Hansen of Spencer Columbus.
Just so you know, I'm one up on you. I saw it the other night.
Oh, yeah. Fankhauser is on Alaska.
Yeah.
And he is wrestling Willie Graham of Stanley Boyd, freshman in Graham, and Fankenhauser is a junior. Graham going to be the winner by first period fall. Looks to be about 30-second pin time. We'll have Nakusa, one of the paper makers of Nakusa.
Yeah. Over on Mat 1, Thorpe's Peeler Sullivan, a sophomore, taking on Brad Neve, a junior, and Neve is going to pick up the win, or Neve, I'm not sure which way you want to say that. He does pick up the win, though, in 41 seconds on the pin time, that at 220 pounds. So Neve, that's what I'll say for now. I'll probably change it again. Number 4 seed picks up the win.
Colin Thompson of Portage wrestling Joseph Bertling of Nakusa Assumption at heavyweight. And that, I haven't seen a double leg takedown by a heavyweight look like that in almost 23-ish years.
Wow.
It was a true double leg takedown. You know, it had the shot step and everything.
Yeah.
Normally you get that ceremonial dance of the heavyweights.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So they don't even see it coming.
On Mat 1, well, we got DeSoto's Lakota Webster out on the mat. He is taking on Pierce Christoph from Portage. Christoph last year with a fine record of 26-15. Webster, as a sophomore, did not have a record. And we're going to get a pin on mat 2. Poradish from Ladysmith. He'll pick up the pin. And let's see if we can get the pin time. That was about 28 seconds worth over James Peters of Portage. So Ladysmith at 200, or check that, that was at 195, picking up the pin. Let's take a look here, and Peters with the pin. They also had a pin over on mat 1, which I missed. Let's see if I can catch up in time here.
Well, Sparta's Case and Kraus with the pin over Cole Hansen of Spencer Columbus, and Joseph Bertling was in control. He should have 3 near fall. The score should be 5-0. Bertling of Nakusa Assumption over Colin Thompson. That's on mat 3. Wrestling halted there. Another heavyweight match coming up on mat 4 is going to be Melman GET and what I believe to be Stanley Boyd.
We did have that pin, was Christoph with the pin on mat 2. We got Black River Falls. Sullivan King, a sophomore, is taking on Jack Meyer from, or it could be Mayer, from Partyville. Probably is Mayer. Sullivan King with a record last year of 11-17.
Mat 4, Carter Kuba of Melman GET and Damon Scheichter of Stanley Boyd. Match just getting underway. Kuba leading by a score of 2-0 with the takedown.
Team race, they take a look here. They do have Sparta with 32 points. Pittsville and Portage tied in second place with 24. Stanley Boyd with 20. DeSoto with 16, along with Ladysmith and Viroqua. So there's a 3-way tie. Of course, that'll all change up here in a hurry in this next round coming up. We're almost finished with the prelims. On mat 2, this is at 220. Still no score. These two guys are kind of staying ear to ear with things and kind of reluctant to commit to a shot. But when you're that size and if you get something, we got a body lock and now getting around behind for a takedown. That is going to be Partyville's Meyer.
Mat for Kuba of Melman GET leading by a score of 2-1 with the escape given to Damon Scheichter. Mat number 3, Bertling of Nakusa Assumption leads by a score of 7-0 as we see right around 20 seconds left to go in period number 2.
We got quite a match going on down here on mat 1, Carl, with a 6-5 lead. Wolf of Thorpe over John Cornelius of Black River Falls. That's at 285 pounds.
Scheichter from Stanley Boyd with the upset. He was trailing. They started the second period on their feet and was able to pick up a head throw over Kuba of Melman GET, and it's going to be about a 226 pin time. So I don't know how much of an upset it was, but his record last year was 4-11.
Uh-huh. We're going to get a pin on mat 1. That pin time coming in 2:41. And let's see if it's, I think it was Black River Falls going to get the pin here. It is. So Cornelius at 285 pounds, going to be moving on. He'll wrestle the number 2 seed here in the quarterfinals a little bit later here. And we can say this afternoon as it's 12:02.
Bertling of Nakusa Assumption is going to pick up the third period pin over Colin Thompson of Portage. So we'll have another heavyweight match coming in on mat 3. Mat 4 is Caden Zwiffel of Sparta and Dawson Baird of Auburndale. 285-pound match on mat 4. And we're going to have Pittsville and Portage on mat 3. I'll give you the names when everything updates. It's going to be Cyrus Gavinsky of Portage and Caden. I'm going to need help with that one.
Which Matt?
Mat 3.
Mat 3.
Caden from Pittsville.
Baselic?
Baselish?
Baselish, yes, Baselish. I'll go with that.
Gazunte.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to get a pin over here on mat 2. It's going to be Mayor of Partyville picking up the win. A 3:18 pin time for Mayor.
Now right there on mat 3 is the definition of that new rule. The knees were inside the cylinder and not touching the mat.
Wow.
I mean, that was right there.
Right there.
And he will record the pin. Looks to be about a 28-second, or no, that's going to be a minute 44 pin time for Pittsville wrestler. Now we're going to start right back down at the other end of the spectrum.
We're in that quarterfinal round. Championship round here at 285 pounds on the orange mat, Black River Falls. Maleki Lee, freshman from BRF, taking on Jack Lazar.
Malachi?
Is that Malachi?
I think it is.
Wait a minute, now I'm all messed up here. Oh, it is Malachi, thank you. Malachi is going to be taken down here by Lazar, and he trails 2-0. Lazar at 17-7 last year as a sophomore. He's a junior now. And let's take a look. Lazar has got to have a pretty good seed here, and they got him as the number 4 seed. Yeah, they're jumping right back into the quarterfinals here now.
285-pound match on mat number 4. Zwiffel of Sparta with the escape in the second period to lead 1-0 over Baird of Auburndale. Another Auburndale wrestler back at 106 on mat 3. Derek Goddard is wrestling Fletcher Post of Spencer Columbus. Goddard leads that match by a score of 4-2.
Lazar is going to pick up the pin at 285 pounds, and he is the number 4 seed, so he'll be moving on.
Goddard is going to pick up the minute 7 pin time over Post of Spencer Columbus at 106. You see period number 1 or period number 2 come to an end. Zwiffel not getting any near fall as time expired.
Thanks again to those wrestling clubs helping to sponsor today's broadcast. Of course, Auburndale, with that great tradition and talking with Coach John Carl and Coach Welch there just prior to the seating meeting going on. And it's really important to kind of spread the word about high school wrestling, and so we've been trying to do that. And I know they were thanking me for trying to do things like this, and I'm like, well, it's me that needs to thank you. And I do mean that sincerely, because the wrestling clubs and their great support, not only from Auburndale, we also get it from DeSoto Pirates, head coach Chad Johnson, bringing the action here to the airways. Buck Engel for Sparta. They're going to have some invitationals. In fact, at the end of the year, they have a wrestling tournament. There's a pin down on mat number 2. That was Cole Beckett, a sophomore, taking on Sawyer Cole from Portage. And I believe that it is, it's Portage and Portage, but the interesting part is one's first name is Cole, the other one's last name is Cole. How about that? So,
on mat 3, we have Haley Yackton of DeSoto wrestling Vanessa Gavilan of Sparta.
Gavilan, yep.
Gavilan leading that match by, I believe it should be 5-0 with those near fall. And now back into pinning combination and the pin for Gavilan of Sparta over Yackton of DeSoto. A couple of female wrestlers in the 113-pound weight class. Zwiffel of Sparta leading Baird of Auburndale by a score of 10-0, as Zwiffel is in near fall criteria with about a minute left, and he's going to get the pin. It looks to be about a 5:16 pin time for Cadence Zwiffel of Sparta over Dawson Baird of Auburndale. That should have the conclusion of that preliminary round.
Yeah.
And
also, yeah, that's good. Well, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to just shut the camera, not the cameras off, but my recording, and we're going to come right back and continue on with this. So there's really no interruption in what folks are seeing here. I do want to say thanks to the Portage Wrestling Club. We didn't get a picture from them. I hope that didn't get caught in my spam or whatever, but we didn't. I didn't receive the picture for them, but we do want to say thank you to the Portage Wrestling Club for their wonderful support of today's broadcast, and Carl, also to the Viroqua Wrestling Club with Rob Zuby and Jared Getter as the co-head coaches, and just a terrific job. And it's always, it's nice to be associated with a good bunch of guys, and of course you're included in that, as the middle school coach. But thank you to the Viroqua Wrestling Club for helping to bring this particular tournament to the airways, and hopefully many more coming down the road that we're going to try and do. So a lot of fun that way. All right, well, we're taking a break. I'm shutting off the recorder here just for a moment. No break in the action here as we come right back.